Hey everyone, it's Mandy Swart and Brett Wingfield, and we are at the Iowa Taxidermists Association. It's their 35th annual, and we are going to do a sneak peek of all the mounts that have been entered. It's at Matuska Casino in Tama, Iowa. No better place to be than a casino. Ding, 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 ding. We're going to walk through, and we have the judges here, and they're going to kind of talk to us a little bit and give us some tips, tricks, what they're looking for. We have Bill Newman, Mike Nikelski, Clint Rickey, and Cole Cruikshank. Yeah, so we're going to walk through, and if you have any questions or whatnot, we're going to look at all the pieces and just check it out. So we're with Matuska Taxidermy Supply Company, and here we go. Let's start this out.
I'm excited. Look at all this stuff. It's a big show. I don't know that we know any show numbers yet.
It is. So if we start getting close to some mounts, there's actually 338 taxidermists in the state of Iowa.
Seriously?
And 72 are members of the Iowa Association.
That's very cool.
They actually have 10 states that are represented in this competition. Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, and Wisconsin.
Wow.
Whenever I do that, I feel like I need to do 50 nifty United States.
That's very cool.
It's really nice because they actually have a huge show this year. They have 196 mounts entered.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be a big number for a state show.
Yeah. So
we're just going to start kind of here in the middle.
Yeah.
We'll work our way around. There is some awesome stuff.
They're giving away $5,500 of cash prizes.
Holy cow.
And then $5,000 of ribbons and trophies.
And it's at the casino, so everybody's a winner, right?
Everybody. You don't walk away a loser, that's for sure.
Super cool stuff. I think we're looking at Masters Division stuff here.
What's nice about the show is they have world-class seminars, but by not only just the judges, but this year they had Todd Cranow, Jonathan Wright, Daniel Ming, and Jimmy Lawrence, and then along with other judges that are here. So then Cole Cruikshank and Mike Nikelski, Clint Rickey, and Bill Newman will all be doing their seminars.
Really cool learning opportunity here. You haven't had an opportunity to take in your state show. Iowa's just one of many.
Yep, go get involved. There's no better learning than your state show.
Really cool stuff. Look at this pedestal. Kind of cool. And we may or may not know who a few of these are, but because they're still judging these, we can't talk about what belongs to who or anything. But
there's no names or ribbons out or anything yet because the judges are slaving away. They literally have the door locked. We had a knock to get in, which was come on, guys.
Fish guy's looking at the fish work. Ooh, this whitetail's pretty. Look at that. That's cool.
So they do a show challenge every year, and this year was the crappie. I don't know if they're scattered around, if they're all together.
Oh, we just looked at one.
Yep, so that
really
would be
nice
qualified
one.
for that.
Yep.
So this year's the crappie, and what's cool about it, how they do it, is the winner gets to pick the next year's challenge, and it can be anything. It doesn't have to be another fish. It can be a rabbit like the Wisconsin show, or a deer, a wolf, whatever it is.
Very cool. Look at this little sparrow. It's just super cool.
I recognize this one.
Yeah. Might have seen this one before.
You got
Super
boat
talented
and
people working on this stuff. All kinds of parts.
I would not want to swim with that.
No.
I recognize this one too. So this is cool if you look at this. Looks like a mud scene, but then you have a
Yeah,
mudded
the image of another one.
warthog, and he's got eyes and the husk. Just super creative. That's hollow all the way in.
Super cool stuff. Look at this moose. That's a moose of a moose. Wow. Still working our way through the master stuff here.
There's a lot.
There's some amazing stuff. Really pretty largemouth here. Nice clean little deer.
So you guys are stuck with us because my dad, Tom, and Vicky, my mom, are at the Minnesota show. And they've been busy there. He's judging. He had his seminar today of setting epoxy with his fish eyes.
Look at that. That's cool. Sculpted branch. Very cool.
It's a pretty base.
Yeah.
Brett, give me your best turkey call.
I don't know if I don't think I can do that on camera.
Mike, give me your turkey call.
No.
Go on.
I don't have any with me, otherwise I would.
I think Mandy's reaching a little bit here. Bobcat with a little mouse. Did you see the mouse?
Looks like he's ready to slap him.
Doe. Wow, there's some good stuff.
It's a unique rack right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Another turkey. Gonna go this way. And it looks like we're gonna get into. Well, do you want to go back?
We might as well.
Yeah, finish these up. We've got a kind of a view from the backside of a few of these pieces here. These are professional pieces.
And here Mr. Mike Nikelski is working hard judging these birds.
Oh yeah, very hard.
How's it going so far, Mikey?
It's going pretty good so far.
Yeah?
Yep.
A lot of good stuff. You guys got a lot of stuff in here.
A lot of stuff. Oh yeah. But we're going through them pretty good. Going smooth.
Did you bring Tuco?
I did.
You did? Where is he?
He's in one of the seminar rooms.
Well, he's not at the Matuska booth, that's for sure.
Well, you can bring him over there if you want.
I should have had him on my shoulder right now. So tell me as a judge, what is the one piece of advice that you would give competitors, being from where you're at today, that you've taken away from it all?
Well, number one is, the most important thing is putting in what you took out of it. Shapes. The shape of the body has to be the right shape from what you took out for the position that you're doing. If your shape is right and everything is put back together where it came from, it's just going to fall together. You're not going to be fighting it. If your wings are too far forward or too far back, you're going to be fighting its skin to get it to look as best you can, and it's still not going to look right. But if you take measurements, study references, and put everything back where it goes, the rest is easy. So that's number one. Eyes are really important. I see a lot of birds in here have real dirty eyes. The bird doesn't have dirty eyes. It's real important to focus on getting them real clean and shined up.
What do you use for that as a, like if you were to say this is a product, make sure you use these and clean the eyes good, what would you use?
Well, first of all, I try not to get anything on the eye to begin with.
Okay.
And if it gets dusty or anything like that, I just use Windex.
Okay.
And then you can put any kind you sell, acrylic eye cleaner, rubbing alcohol. Windex works the best. Get them all shined up and make sure there's not all kinds of dust on them. You know, a lot of birds get tumbled in a tumbler with corncob grit. A lot of the birds here have corncob grit on them because they haven't been properly blown off. Things like that. But studying the reference is the most important thing, studying the live bird itself.
Mm-hmm. So are you almost done?
No.
You gonna stay up late tonight?
Perhaps.
How many do you have here, birds to judge?
Probably about 30 or 40, I'm guessing.
That's a good amount.
That's a good amount.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good amount for 196 mounts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thanks, Mikey.
All right.
Looks like we're gonna jump to a couple more of these Masters entries.
Gotta be careful where it back up.
Super cool stuff.
Base work is very cool.
Yeah, really creative. You can tell Iowa's a whitetail state. There are some nice deer.
This guy has a very unique wet look compared to all the whitetails you see. Looks like it got out of a little bit of rain. What's kind of fun is we ran into the guy that did this, or gal. But he had a huge problem with the base. 7 hours before the show that he had come for the show, and his base split. The wood split completely in half, like all the way. And so he ended up having to improvise and switch the base, which anybody that competes, you have that story. You have the story of reglossing the fish an hour before,
Absolutely,
or
yeah.
whatever it may be. There's always that story, and this is the story which he's got the Iowa show, the Iowa base that he improvised, 6 hours before.
Oh yeah, look at that, state of Iowa.
Not too bad for making it work, let me tell you.
Very cool.
Very frustrating, but everybody has that story.
Oh. Super cool. Getting tight in here.
As long as Clint catches whatever I push his way, we're good.
He's pretty good at catching.
That's different. I haven't seen some. That's pretty cool.
Kind of a
Wow.
artistic piece there,
Very.
kind of showing the process of taxidermy from the
It is.
bone structure to armature to the clay sculpture, the foam mannequin, and then the completed project.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Very.
Pretty
I
cool.
don't think I've seen that before.
Creative people. Look at that. He's cool.
Do you see the base? It's on the palette, like a paint palette.
Yeah. Yeah. Artist palette. That's cool.
I'm glad I don't have to judge those.
Oh my gosh.
Or the snake. You too?
I wouldn't know where to start.
Grayling. Look at that. That's
So now we're in professional division here.
Oh, look at this little guy.
Oh, little porcupine. He's kind of cute.
Cool. Wow, there is a lot of stuff here.
Got a Matuska base right there.
Hey,
I
look
like
at that.
it. Love seeing our stuff with your guys' work.
Very cool.
Some ice fishing stories with some bush light.
Are you sure that's ice fishing with all that green moss?
Okay, I looked in the cooler. Very true.
Oh, we got a couple likes. I saw some thumbs up go by. Very cool. Oh, we're getting into some guys working hard over here.
We got Bill Newman
Hello.
judging the mammals. So how's it going so far, Bill?
It's going pretty smooth. A lot of good stuff in here.
How many mounts would you say you have to do?
I've probably got, I think 30,
30?
maybe more. Maybe 35, possibly 40.
And so what would your advice be as a judge that you would give other competitors?
Biggest thing is study and reference. You know, nowadays with computers and everything, it's at everybody's disposal immediately now. Where we didn't have that 15 years ago. I mean, everything we had was through pictures in magazines and books and stuff like that. And now it works really good for judges when we're judging because we can pull our laptops out and pull up images of things that we might not normally see, like an anteater. There was a little baby porcupine over there, so.
Do they give you a heads up on that stuff before
No.
you come?
No.
You have no idea what you're going to be judged,
No.
so if you haven't seen it before, it's
Exactly,
pull it up.
which is great when we've got our laptops and stuff. And we can check out the reference and everything on, which is what we're here to do, is help them. Reading and interpreting reference is probably one of the biggest things. It's all out there for everybody at everybody's disposal now, so it makes it. I'm not going to say easier, but it's a lot more instant. You can find stuff fairly quickly and easy at this point. So.
Reference.
Yep, you got it.
Bill Blake Connering says, "Tell Newman hello."
All right, hey
Hey,
Blake, how's
Blakey.
it going?
He's
Did
our-
he just have a birthday?
Yeah, he
just
did.
turned
Happy
20?
birthday,
All
Blake.
right, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Blake.
Excellent.
He's our #1 fan. He doesn't miss a video.
Sure.
He doesn't.
That's awesome.
Cole, what about you? How's it going for you?
Busy. There was a lot of fish in this show. It's awesome.
How many fish do you have for this show?
Well, I don't know how many fish exactly. I know everything I'm judging, there were like 30-some pieces. But I'm also doing the reptiles, so
I saw that.
there was a few of those.
So did they give you a heads up on the worms and the snakes and all that?
No, I just show up and see what's here.
Google worms?
Yeah.
Earthworms? So you did the Wisconsin you judged
Yep.
just recently. Do you have any others that you guys are judging?
I'm doing Indiana in June, I believe.
Okay.
And then that's it for me. I'm just doing 3 this year.
Okay, what about you, Bill?
I just did Utah last weekend. Go to Nebraska in May.
Okay.
I think June and Texas in June. Nationals in July and Missouri in August. So
You're
pretty much-
judging all of them?
Yeah.
Woo.
He keeps busy.
Bill Logan.
They must like Bill.
Man.
They
Bad enough
must.
loading up for shows.
Logan Christensen says, "Lucky enough to meet that guy last week in Utah.
Yep.
Awesome judge."
Thanks. Yeah, it was
There
a
you
good
go.
time.
Awesome.
Really nice, a different show because that one was in conjunction with the sports show. So
Okay, those are always fun.
It was really, pretty neat. And, lots of public coming through,
Yeah.
bugging you and picking your brain too. So, it's kind of neat to do that every now and then.
Yeah. Mikey's letting some rip over there. All right, Cole, what piece of advice would you give to competitors to bring to see?
Obviously study reference, but I'm sure everybody else has already said that. I think the biggest tip I would give would be get a hold of a score sheet before you go to the show. Most of the stuff I'm writing on here, any monkey can see it. If you just go through each line and then double check, for example, lifted scales, go through the entire fish and make sure you don't have any lifted scales. And if you do, then fix them before you come.
Where do you get that score sheet?
If you've been to a show, you've probably already got one. If you haven't, you can generally contact whatever show you plan on going to and asking them to either mail or email you the score sheet, and they'll do that for you.
That's a good tip. Do you have a blank one that I can just kind of show on this? No, you're fine.
There will be one here. Let me just grab one. Here's a blank fish one. Now, Iowa uses the World Show score sheet, so depending on the species of fish you're bringing, you would want to ask for that score sheet. So the bass is going to be different than the crappie, going to be different than the trout.
That's good advice. So ask for the score. You're okay to ask the score sheet?
Go ahead and get you a score sheet before you even go to the show and double check everything on it to make sure that you've got it the way you want it.
Thanks, Cole.
Oh yeah, have fun, guys.
Cool stuff. Look at that.
You bet.
Don't see those every day in Iowa.
Is that an armadillo?
Yeah. Nice clean little bass.
That's as close as I've ever been to an armadillo. Oh, and see, they have their references to show them.
Let me catch up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Process pictures from the competitor for the judges. That's always a good idea. Get
Comes in
credit
a
for
white
the work you
envelope
did.
with a $100 bill.
Andy.
Just kidding.
We know her dad's judging this weekend, so
He's getting paid well, is that what you're saying?
she's pushing for tips.
Creative mounts for sure.
Yeah, look at that.
Then we have Mr. Clinton Ricky working hard. Hardly working.
I'm working plenty hard.
And how's it going for you? You got a lot of whitetail to judge here, my friend.
Yeah, you see?
It's like all you see is the antlers.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's enough left.
so the other guys have like 30 and 40. How many?
I think upper 40s, maybe 50.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It looks like a little more because that wall's commercial. There's definitely a lot of them. It's the most I've seen. I think any show did.
So
Well,
could-
Texas had a lot of them. Texas had 50 some, but there's a lot.
So you judged Texas then?
Yeah, last summer.
Okay. What other shows are you doing this year?
I did Arkansas a couple weeks ago, South Dakota last week, Alabama in June, and UTA in June,
Got it, yep.
and that's it.
Interview with my dad in UTA.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to babysit.
Yeah. He needs to be babysat.
He does. You need to be babysat, Dad. Okay, so what advice would you give to competitors as they compete?
The biggest advice is to use reference, and we all use reference, and we say we use reference, but to truly use reference, like throughout the whole process. What I used to do when I started competing, I'd use reference and I'd look at it. And I'd look at it and get some inspiration and then go and do it and get done with it. And then, you know, a day later I go back and look at my reference and look nothing like it. That's just because I didn't use reference throughout the whole process of doing it. And another thing is, I think we got to simplify stuff, like compartmentalize, meaning break all these things down into little pieces and just try to do, you know, the best earbuds we can. I think we look at the big picture too much, try to do too much at one
thing
time.
at a time.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite reference that you use? So every time you want to, yeah, certain pictures you use, reference cast, what do you prefer?
There's a lot of good reference casts out there. Mark has, you guys sell Mark's cast.
Mark Gonering's
He
your
has-
cast.
He has a forward and a back one, which is
Yep.
nice to have. And I think he did them opposite. So one ear is a forward,
Yes.
and the other one's opposite, which is really nice. Those are good ones. If you ever have an opportunity ever to get into a live deer pen, that's the best reference you can get. If you can take, I think taking pictures yourself makes a difference too. Like just going through the process of taking the pictures yourself versus purchasing them. If you have to purchase them, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you can get out there and take them yourself, that's the best thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're gonna be up late?
Yeah.
Good. So when do you have to be done? Done.
Sure, tomorrow morning sometime. I think 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll be done. It's not too bad. There's a lot of masters deer.
It's definitely overwhelming though when you walk in and see all that. Like, ooh,
There's a
stinks to
lot.
be the deer judge. It's a lot.
And it's usually like that though.
Yeah.
Deer judge and the mammal judge usually get slammed pretty good.
There's a lot of cool stuff here.
It's awesome. This is one of the best overall shows I've seen in a long time.
Awesome.
For just overall quality and size. I mean, I remember Iowa a few years ago and it was 80, 90 mounts, and now we're almost 200 of them.
See, I never got to come to the Iowa show because my dad and mom would always come to the Iowa, and I would do the Minnesota with my dad. And then, now that he's judging the Minnesota, we had a swap. So this is actually my first time ever at the Iowa show. And I'm pretty excited. I know I like it. Yep. So I swapped.
Pretty
All
cool
right.
stuff.
Who's all watching?
Oh man.
Who's all watching?
Justin
Say your name.
Summer,
Let's see.
Derek, Blake.
You got 42 views.
40
There's a lot.
minutes ago.
See, there's a lot
This
more.
is cool. I don't have the. Can't ever do it. I'm too nervous to go
You
live.
can get in front and start
Yeah.
dancing. We'll probably bring up the
There you
ratings.
go.
I sprained my ankle last week in South Dakota dancing.
Did you?
I believe that.
Brett,
Yeah.
Brett, you saw it.
I may have, may or may not. I will not confirm or deny.
Thanks, Clint.
Super cool stuff.
Lots of barnwood
Yeah.
being used. I like it.
So far, I've just walked around until I found the room up.
You know, all of these white-tailed deer in one place, and no two are alike.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. That's pretty good. Really nice, clean piece here. Cool stuff. A little bit of a statement here. Look at the detail work they're doing in some of these deer.
Makes me miss our buck deer.
Yeah.
This guy's got a little greenery, grasses. So that would be considered an open mouth.
Yeah.
So that does that get judged completely different?
Open mouth?
Yeah.
No, they get judged the same. Usually you bonus points at it for open mouth.
Bonus points for open mouth.
Depending on how much work they've done.
And does it depend on the opening? Because I mean, this is a slight one.
Definitely. I mean, if it's the only one in the category and it's really closed, then you're usually basing it on more work and better work and did they hire pieces or did they cast themselves? So there's a lot of factors that come into play.
Got it.
Yeah, Yeah, sometimes it's, if it's only opened a little bit, it's kind of hard to judge. So the person that opens it more and pulls it off more correctly.
Right.
You probably get a few more bonus points too.
Couple new viewers. Justin Koppel, George Marshall both say hello.
Hello, hello. Thanks for watching. Oh, he's got some little water drippers.
I'm gonna call it breath. Vapor.
Breath vapor, I like that. It's on the nose hairs and everything.
Snow on his forehead.
Oh, yeah. I should have brought my glasses. That's pretty cool. You got some unique ones to do, that's for sure. This one has bark with a picture on the back.
Tim McGraw.
Is that
I think it's to cover up who did it.
It is. They actually have a casino game out there with Tim McGraw on it. You might have to check it out. Did you see that?
Mm-mm. We have no idea. Pretty
gonna
sure
go
it's
live
not Tim
tonight.
McGraw.
Huh?
You're gonna go live tonight after you're all done judging?
We're gonna go to bed.
Gonna do his judging dance.
Tomorrow?
This would be the commercial division, I believe.
So what's the explain what the commercial is?
Commercial division is for the taxidermist just to take something right off his wall that is his typical commercial work versus his competition quality work. So they're it's judged a little bit easier. Most shows judge it at kind of a 5-foot rule, kind of like a customer would, view it. Which is kind of cool to bring your, true customer work to a show.
Yeah.
I like the cow.
Those animals are so cool.
Hey, we've got a watcher from Madrid, Spain. And now know why Mike N didn't answer me. Brent Wallenberg.
Brent. Hi, Brent. Oh, look at the baby. It's almost duck season at Baumgar's.
Easter ducks.
It's exciting. They're so cute.
That's fine, Sam. Don't worry about it.
No worries.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yep. Roger working on the commercial
Right.
now.
Fort Madison.
How's it going over here?
Going great.
Going great?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Slaving away?
We are. Working hard.
Yeah.
Working hard or hardly working?
Yeah, we're working hard.
Look at it.
We're saving the real judges some work.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they can ship it direct there if they want.
Pretty
You guys
cool
got some
stuff.
very cool stuff here.
Yeah.
So this would be considered ice fishing
That's much
with
more
the snow
icy.
in the hole. Can I take this off?
But it's going to take a while to get that.
Oh, you got one coming through too.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Something.
Pretty good for.
Too creative.
Actually,
Yeah, very
actually
creative.
It's, West Point, which is like 5 miles from Fort.
Very
You'd be impressed
creative.
when you see the kid that did that. He's pretty big.
Really?
Right.
Kid that did
I
that.
mean, what we noted on is that he needs to be moving on up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You might think he's too young to. Road trip. When you're doing that good, you don't need to be an amateur. You need to be a
Absolutely.
professional.
Wow, that's cool.
You ain't even a teenager yet.
Wow. Talent.
Yes, very.
That's, okay.
that sounds
Badger
good.
looks mean.
Take care. Yeah, see ya.
I was always taught not to touch mounts, but I'm taking paper off so you guys can see them. So I hope I don't break anything. This would be, okay, except ours is right out of Big Spirit, but our childhood was painted turtles all the time in a pan with a rock so they could get out, and it was our life. Rescue them from the street and put them to the water. This is cool. It's on an elk antler.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Very cool. Amateur over 16 division.
We got a high from Lakeland, Florida.
Nice.
David Prince.
Florida. We kind of wish that we'd be there because we're actually supposed to get 8 to 10 inches of snow here in Tama, Iowa. Cold.
Glenda Rao is watching, who was just in Florida. And we got a high from Hedgeville, West Virginia, from Bill Kittner. Bill. Did we make our way through the majority?
We did. So one of the things that's really cool about the Iowa show that they're doing is they put together opposite year of the World Show. They are doing the Joe Meters Master of Master Challenge division. And I'm actually going to switch with you because I want you to tell about it. But it's a very cool... This is Brett. Hey, Brett.
Yeah, this is a new category for Iowa. I think they've done it a couple times now. First time I've done it. The division was put together with the intent of bringing some of the World Show pieces from the previous year, showing some of the talent of the people in the state. So in some cases, a lot of guys choose not to bring their World Show stuff to a state show, and this gave them a category to compete in and kind of give somebody an opportunity to bring some work that might not have been to the Iowa show previously and get it looked at, show some of the talents of the people around. One of the neat things about it is it's not judged by the division judges, it's judged by every master taxidermist. So anybody that's registered as a master's entry has a ballot, and they will vote on the winners. So there are different divisions still within the Master of Masters category, but at the end of the night they're going to give, I believe, a first, second, and third. There'll be a cash prize with it, and that's voted on by the people. So it's a pretty neat award.
Very cool. So now there's judges here that have actually entered in this as well.
Yeah, so there's a whole criteria set up, and you only have to meet one of them, and I think the first one is to have won a Best in the World title or a second or third in the world. Another criteria is to be a current judge, so judge in the taxidermy division, in the taxidermy world. One of the other criteria is that if you've won 2 Best of Show awards, so you've taken a Best of Show before, you can also enter in this division. I think there might be one more, and I'm forgetting what it is, but...
You want to look at it?
Yeah, let me look to make sure I get them all, because it is fairly new.
It's very cool. This is the only state that has that.
That I know of.
That's,
yeah.
as far as I know too, this is the only state. It's a very cool division to have.
It really brings a different opportunity, and it gets some pieces that other people may not have had the opportunity to see back out into circulation, and kind of gets some of those guys that put a lot of hours into their mounts. Gives them another place to display them. So the 4 qualifications are either one best or second, third in the world awards, won 2 or more best in show masters, or won 2 or more breakthrough awards with a master's entry, be a judge in good standing in the taxidermy field, or have won a national champion, North American champion, or international champion award.
So what Brett is talking about is he's talking about the Joe Meter Master of Masters Challenge, and it's in Iowa, the Iowa Taxidermists Association, and they do it every other year from the World Show. So next year it won't be available because the World Show will be next year.
Correct.
And then after that, so 2020, it would be back at the Iowa Show for 2020.
The World Show falls on the odd years, so the Master of Masters entry in Iowa will fall on the even years.
That's a simple way to look at it. So for those of you tuning in, we are at the Iowa Taxidermists Association, and we are getting a sneak peek looking at all the mounts that have been entered. So all the competitors, no one's seen this besides what came in next to them. We're kind of in with the judges looking through. But they have 196 mounts entered this year, and then they also are doing $5,500 of cash prizes, and then $5,000 with the ribbons and trophies, which is pretty cool.
It is. That's
But
very cool.
let's go look at these Master of Masters entries.
There's a little bit of everything here, which is pretty exciting. Again, these will be voted on by the competitors, not the judges.
Also, anybody who is competing in this show will get
Nope,
a put
any of the masters.
Masters.
competitors.
So
Only
anybody
masters.
competing in the Masters will get to do a vote.
This piece is cool.
Yo. What? You said-
So Clint wants to tell Jerry Huffaker hi. And Clint says he's...
You're his hero.
Something like that. It's
Hero.
deep in here. I think Clint's got an
He needs a
injury
break.
Jerry
You need to take a
judge.
break. Seeing too many antlers.
Wow, that's quite an interpretive piece there.
Very. We have someone from upstate New York watching, Southern Oregon. West Virginia says they just got 16 inches. That sounds terrible.
Look at this. This is one that we
Very
saw a
cool.
few years ago that
At the World Show. too.
just one of those super inspirational pieces. I think everybody sees something different, and man,
Very
it's,
neat.
It's pretty cool. There's a lot. There's a big message here. So compare the size of those hands to my hand.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Brandon Hitchcock, one of my favorite pieces.
Dog tired. A puppy. Little coyote pup.
I would cuddle that. You got a little
Yeah, look at that guy.
sneaking up on him. Oh, so he's going down the hole looking for him.
And he's
But he's like, hey, I found you. I love seeing the backs of how people do their mounts differently. So now, on these divisions, the bases all have to be made by, what's the rule with that?
Well,
Base work and masters.
if this competed at the masters level, especially at the world, not all states are the same, but especially at the world, all parts have to be created by the competitors.
All parts.
All parts, yeah. So
The woodwork, like even the base,
Yep,
or?
yep. All pieces and parts at the masters level are judged, and it's judged as a composition.
Clint, Blake Riminger, dang rocking out. Tell Clint and Cole I said hello. Good luck to everyone.
Oh, Blake, you're
Aw.
so cute. He's so cute.
Pretty cool can of goose.
noticed Brett was probably way more steady and slow on his mount moving than I am, but I'm trying.
Look at that.
That looks like I'm out walking the field.
Wow.
Hunt 'em up, Biz. Hunt 'em up.
Pretty cool.
So many colors when you get close. All the rock, and then the grasses and weeds are all put into there individually. And then, ooh, look at this bad boy. Look familiar, friends?
Might have.
Got another awesome piece here. So, there you have it. You guys have, this is 1, 2, 3, 7?
Yeah.
7 that the masters get to. There's a lot of thumbs up for that.
Nice.
Yay. So this would be your 7 pieces that the masters get to place their vote and kind of vote on. It's almost like voting on your judges. Like which one. So very cool. There's so many cool mounts here, guys. Very cool. So again, they do this every other year from the World Show, and this is at the Iowa Show right now, as far as we know. And it's the Joe Meters Master of Master Challenge. And so in 2020, it will be back here again. And so you guys can do that. So that is kind of the end of our sneak peek. We are gonna head out, but want to give a big thanks for everyone tuning in. We do live videos every Thursday, 4:30 Central Time. If you are tuning in and don't have our supply catalog, this is you're watching Matuska Taxidermy Supply Company. This is our supply catalog, and it is full, put together by yours truly, but full of awesome stuff. So give us a call at 1-800-488-3256 or go online at www.matuskataxidermy.com. Thanks for watching, everyone.